The Philippine government is now imposing a limit on the number of medicines a person or household may buy at any time to prevent hoarding. Acting presidential spokesman Carlo Nograles says purchase limits cover medicines used to treat symptoms that a COVID-19 patient would experience, like paracetamol. For paracetamol, an individual can buy only 20 tablets at a time, while a household is limited to buying 60 tablets at a time. For the liquid form of this medication, the limit is 5 bottles for individuals and 10 bottles for a household. This policy comes as the Philippines breaches the 3 million mark in its COVID-19 count Tuesday, January 11. The Health Department reports 28,007 new infections. Although Tuesday's numbers are lower compared to Monday's count, this is the 5th straight day that daily infections surged to more than 20,000. Meanwhile, the Food and Drug Administration approves the Health Department's compassionate special permit for the generic version of Pfizer's COVID-19 antiviral pill Paxlovid. The government is also aiming to vaccinate babies and toddlers against COVID-19 this year. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. says the pandemic task force targets to vaccinate 11.11 million 0 to 4-year-olds this year. But the FDA has yet to issue emergency use authorization for any vaccine for this age group. For the next age group, 5 to 11 years old, only the Pfizer vaccine has been approved for emergency use in the country. The Commission on Elections is verifying a report that a group of hackers recently breached the poll body's online servers that could potentially impact the 2022 polls. A Manila Bulletin report published Monday, January 10 says hackers were able to enter the Comelec system on Saturday, January 8. The report claims the hackers downloaded 60 gigabytes worth of files that include usernames and personal identification numbers or PINs of vote counting machines, which will be used for the 2022 polls. In an interview with One News, Manila Bulletin tech editor Art Samaniego Jr. stands by his team's story. He says the information came from white hat hackers who just wanted to expose the vulnerabilities of the Comelec servers. Samaniego says his team tried to verify the incident with a Comelec, but they were left hanging. But Comelec spokesman James Jimenez expresses doubts about the report. He says such information does not exist in Comelec systems because the configuration files, which includes usernames and PINs, have not yet been completed. Jimenez also notes the scant substantiation of the assertions made in the Manila Bulletin article. He assures the public that Comelec is compliant with the Data Privacy Act. As this develops, presidential aspirants on Tuesday, January 11, call on the Comelec to ramp up its efforts to protect the 2022 elections from hackers. In a joint statement, Vice President Leni Robredo and her running mate, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, urged the Comelec to immediately take steps to ensure the incident will not affect the 2022 polls. Senator Manny Pacquiao says Filipinos should know if the Comelec has a plan in place if the automated polling system is compromised. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno, meanwhile, says the report underscores the need for the Comelec to affirm its commitment to clean and credible elections. Senator Ping Lacson also urges the Comelec to accept help from presidential aspirant cybersecurity experts in strengthening the Comelec's security system.
Need more context, clarity, and perspective? Get the full picture with Rappler Plus. With exclusive content and events, you'll get an opportunity to discuss issues with reporters, experts, and featured guests while helping Rappler continue its fearless journalism. Join now.
Vice President and presidential aspirant Leni Robredo says it is unforgivable to be spreading lies online as the country grapples with an unprecedented spike in COVID-19 cases. Robredo blasts disinformation peddlers Tuesday, January 11, after seeing posts claiming the Office of the Vice President's free teleconsultation service, Bayanihan eConsulta, is supposedly being used as a front for her campaign. The posts falsely claim that the OVP would allegedly ask for the voting precinct number whenever a person registers for a teleconsult with a volunteer doctor.
Sobrang kasinungalingan ito kasi wala namang kaming binago. Wala kaming binago sa registration sa Bayanihan eConsulta. Siyempre, hihingi ka ng personal details kasi magre-reseta yung doktor. Pero yung precinct number, hindi yung tinatanong kasi hindi naman yung relevant data.
Robredo also presents a new tagline for her presidential campaign called Gobyernong Tapat, Angat Buhay Lahat.
Kaya naisip natin na magkaroon ng isang common tagline na mag-encapsulate kung ano yung pinaglalaban natin, saka ano yung aasahan nila pag tayo ay binigyan ng pagkakataon. So ito nga yung gobyernong tapat, angat buhay lahat.
A man with a terminal heart disease from the United States was implanted with a genetically modified pig heart in a first-of-its-kind surgery. His doctors on Monday, January 10 say the patient is doing well 3 days later. The surgery, performed by a team at the University of Maryland Medicine, is among the first to demonstrate the feasibility of a pig-to-human heart transplant. If proven successful, scientists hope pig organs could help alleviate shortages of donor organs. The patient, 57-year-old David Bennett of Maryland, says the heart transplant was his last option. Pigs have long been a potential source of potential transplants because their organs are so similar to humans. A hog heart is about the size of an adult human heart. Iya Villania opens up about how difficult it is to be in quarantine after testing positive for COVID-19 while being pregnant. In an Instagram post Monday, January 10, the actress host shares photos of her 3 children, Primo, Leon, and Alana, behind a glass door, with Alana in tears. Iya says this is the current situation at their home, since she and husband Drew Arellano had to be isolated from their children after catching the virus. Iya says her 2 older sons understood the situation, but their daughter was having a hard time being separated from them. Iya is currently pregnant with her 4th child. She and Drew first revealed the news on January 3, just a week before they announced they tested positive for COVID-19.